Initiating simulation 072. Human reality is nothing more than a fragile neurological hallucination, carefully constructed by your brain to make sense of the universe. What happens when we reach into that biological code and entirely delete a single, fundamental variable? What happens when a piece of the world simply vanishes? T-0. Without any warning, a highly specific neurological glitch strikes every single human being on Earth simultaneously. The short wavelength cones in your eyes, the microscopic biological receptors exclusively responsible for processing the color blue, suddenly and permanently shut down. The spectrum is forever broken. At first, the absolute sheer shock of the transition paralyzes global society. You blink, and the vibrant, beautiful oceans that cover 70% of our planet turn into massive, terrifying pools of swirling, oily black nothingness. The water isn't actually gone, but your broken brain simply cannot process the light. You look up, expecting to see the comforting, endless canopy of the atmosphere, but the sky has been entirely erased. Rayleigh scattering still exists, but you can no longer perceive it. The daytime sky becomes a massive, blinding, oppressive dome of sterile, suffocating white light, robbing the entire world of depth. The immediate visual result is a terrifying, inescapable descent into the uncanny valley. Because all perceived colors are a mixture of light, deleting the color blue instantly corrupts the entire visual spectrum. Everything you look at is now bathed in a sickly, diseased, apocalyptic tint of muddy yellows and toxic greens. The glitch instantly destroys the modern digital age. Every single television, smartphone, and computer monitor on the planet operates entirely on the RGB system: red, green, and blue light. With the blue pixels completely invisible to the human eye, every digital screen becomes a garbled, unreadable, nauseating mess of corrupted data. Global infrastructure collapses under the weight of sheer visual confusion. Emergency services are heavily compromised. Police sirens, airport runway lights, and critical maritime navigation buoys that rely on bright blue luminescence are completely invisible. Thousands of fatal accidents occur simply because we can no longer see the warnings. But the infrastructure failure is nothing compared to the psychological devastation. Imagine looking deeply into the eyes of your spouse, your parents, or your children, only to find horrifying, empty black voids where their vibrant irises used to be. Human connection is violently severed by the terror of our own faces. The glitch invades the most basic aspects of human survival. Without the full color spectrum, identifying safe, edible food becomes a deadly guessing game. The subtle color shifts that indicate poisonous mold, rotting meat, or deadly bacterial infections are completely masked behind the sickly yellow filter of our broken vision. Human culture, art, and history are instantly vandalized. The greatest masterpieces of human creativity are reduced to depressing, muddy smudges. The vibrant beauty of the natural world, from majestic peacocks to delicate sapphire gemstones, is permanently deleted from the human experience, leaving behind a profound, inescapable sense of loss. Within months, the global population descends into a severe, unprecedented epidemic of clinical depression. The psychological impact of losing a primary color destroys human morale. The world feels perpetually sick, toxic, and hostile. We are biologically wired to find comfort in the sky and the sea, and both are now gone. Desperate scientists expend billions trying to engineer technological cures, building advanced visual prosthesis and augmented reality glasses. But the horrifying truth settles in. The hardware inside our physical brain is permanently broken. There is absolutely no lens, no screen, and no surgery that can force a dead biological pathway to fire. We are forced to accept that our perception of the universe is a fragile illusion. The universe hasn't actually changed. The physics of light remain exactly the same. The ocean is still there. The sky is still there. But we are permanently locked out of experiencing the true majesty of reality. Humanity is forced to completely redesign society using high-contrast, black and white geometric patterns just to navigate safely. The vibrant, colorful era of human civilization is officially dead, replaced by a harsh, sterile, and unforgiving visual dystopia where every single day looks exactly like a sick, apocalyptic fever dream. We finally realize that color isn't a physical property of the object. It is a profound, miraculous gift of the human mind. And once the mind loses its grip on that specific frequency, the universe becomes infinitely colder, infinitely darker, and infinitely more terrifying to navigate without a map. The only place the missing color still exists is deep inside our fading, fragmented memories. For a few short years, you might be able to close your eyes and remember what the ocean looked like. But eventually, the neural pathways will degrade completely, and you will forever forget the spectrum. You will forget what the sky looked like on a summer day. You will forget the eyes of the person you loved. You will be forever trapped in a permanently broken hallucination, waiting in the blinding white light for the very end. Simulation result. Reality is only what your mind allows you to see. When the mind breaks, the entire world breaks with it. Simulation concluding. Subscribe to the log to survive the next one.